We have our test on Monday. Let's see. And does everybody have a copy of the test review? So the test review, as well as the solutions for it, are all on Canvas under modules. So the test is going to be the same kind of format as that test review. Any questions about the test review? Questions about the test or the review?
Are we gonna go over it?
Meaning, am I going to stand here and work out the whole review? No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because I've already.
Question number 11 and number 12.
All right, let me look here. Okay, great question. Number 11 and number 12, yes. All right, so let's see. You've got -7 squared. One time you have it with parentheses and one time you have it without parentheses. So let's say this is what we're comparing. Okay, so when you have the parentheses around the -7, it's very clear, basically. It's saying -7 times -7. So a negative times a negative becomes a positive 49. And then if you don't have those parentheses, then what it's telling you is that the square only applies to the 7. So I would say it's kind of like, you know, you might put parentheses like that. So that negative is on the outside. So it's like negative and then, you know, just one negative sign and then 7 times 7. So that ends up being -49. All right. Other questions about the review? All right, let me see. Okay. All right, so on number 34, I would say for the x's, you've got x to the 3rd power and you've got x squared. So I would say let's write those out. So let's write that as, you know, x times x times x, and then x times x on the bottom. And then you're going to want to see if you can, what you can reduce from anything that's on the numerator with anything that's on the denominator. So can anything be reduced on that? The 5, right? Right. All right. So 5 can go into 25 5 times. 5 can go into 48 times. And right, whoops. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 goes into 9 3 times. All right. So as far as the numbers go, you have 4 times 8 is 32, and 5 times 3 is 15. And then, like I said, on the top you have 3 x's. On the bottom you have 2 x's. So you can cancel out 2 of those x's. So your final answer should be 32x over 15. Okay. Any other questions about that problem? And I know they also mentioned number 38. So that's another good one to do. So we're subtracting on that one. So I want to go ahead and take that negative sign and change it to like plus -4. I think that'll be a little bit better. And then this is one of the more challenging problems. But I would go ahead and just use the bow tie method. So when you're adding and subtracting fractions, you can always use the bow tie method. So that means I would multiply 7 times x minus 5. So I'm just going to write 7 times x minus 5. And then plus 4 times x plus 2. All right. And then on the bottom, we're just going to multiply x plus 2 times x minus 5. So distribute the 7, so that's 7x minus 35, and distribute the 4. Oh, that was supposed to be minus 4, yeah. Let me fix that. Negative 4. Okay, so that'd be minus 4x minus 8. I'm just going to just leave the denominator alone. We don't need to worry about doing anything with that today. Just leave the denominator as is. Combine like terms, so 7x minus 4x would be 3x, and then negative 35 minus 8 would be negative 43. Yeah, just leave the bottom part alone. I mean, if you know how to FOIL it and you want to FOIL it, that's fine, but we really haven't actually gone over FOIL this semester, so I'm not going to mess with that. Other questions? You said what? 48? Oh, that's so much fun. Kind of don't really want to do number 48 just because, you know, I don't want to like rob you of being able to do that one yourself. But let's see. And there's really only that one problem on the review. There's nothing else like similar to it on there. So let me see here. Let me come up with something similar.
What
to
chapter
do.
is this? Can you tell us what chapter?
So that's 4.7. Yeah, that's 4.7.
Okay.
So let's see if we can look at maybe the notes from that section.
So something like that, whenever you said you can multiply all those by something,
Right.
the lowest common denominator.
The least common denominator, that's right.
2.
Not 2. Okay, perfect. Here we go. If we look on the notes, we have some practice problems right here that I have, you know, that are not completed. We didn't do these in class. So that'll be a perfect way to do it. I can do one of these problems. I'll do that number 4 right there. Okay, so let's look at this problem right here. And if you have your notes and you want to look at this, this is 4.7 on the practice problems.
Number 4, you said?
Yeah, 4.7 practice problem number 4. Okay, so looking at that problem, and let's figure out the LCD. So it's the LCD stands for least common denominator. So I think, and so a lot of people will get this confused with the greatest common factor. So in this case, so the denominators the denominators for this problem are 5 and 3. Okay, and actually those don't really have any common factors. So we're looking for the least common multiple. All right, so what would be the LCD for this? 15. So the reason why it's called the least common denominator is because there could be larger ones. That is the least common denominator. But for example, 30 could also be a common denominator. It just wouldn't be the least common denominator. All right, so then we need to multiply every term of this equation times 15. All right, and so if you want to think of that as 15 over 1, you can think of it that way. But basically what it means is we're multiplying the numerators. If it's a fraction, you're just multiplying the numerator times 15. All right, so 1/5 x, that's the first term, and that's multiplied by 15. And then plus 2/3, so 2/3 is the second term. So that's also multiplied by 15. And then minus 2 is another term, So even though it's not a fraction, it's still a term of the equation that has to get multiplied by 15. And the same thing for the x, that x has to get multiplied by 15. And then 2/5, that 2 has to get multiplied by 15. All right, now before I actually multiply, I should be able to reduce to get rid of all fractions. So 5 goes into 15 3 times. So then 3 times 1 is 3. So that's 3x plus, and then 3 goes into 15 5 times. And then that's 2 times 5, which is 10. And then there's nothing to cancel out here because there's no denominator. So 2 times 15, though, is 30 equals. And then x times 15, so that would be 15x. And then 5 goes into 15 3 times. So 2 times 3 is 6. So that's minus 6. All right, so that was probably the most difficult part of the problem. So does anybody have any questions about that, what I just did? Okay, so from there, it's, pretty straightforward. We're just gonna combine like terms. 10 minus 30 will be negative 20. So I have 3x minus 20 equals 15x minus 6. And I need to get x's to one side. So I could do that by subtracting 15x from both sides, which would give me negative 12x minus 20 equals negative 6. And then I would need to add 20 to both sides. And that would give me negative 12x equals 14. And then just divide both sides by negative 12. So that would be x equals negative 7/6. Other questions?
zero under is undefined.
So that's not the same. Like, the negative 12 over 0 is not negative 12.
It is, yeah, but dividing by 0 makes the universe explode.
It's just easier. I got you.
So it's on the top.
Yeah, 0 divided by a number is just 0. But if you divide by 0, that's a no.
And number 27, would that X be considered a 1?
So you could say that, yeah, there's an invisible 1 in front of the X.
Yeah.
X is the same thing as 1X. I think that's what you mean.
Well, eventually I'm given it, is that going to be 3? When I bring that down, it's going to be 11 minus 3.
Well, so X, I hear a lot of students say X is 1 when what you really mean is X is the same as 1X. It's not necessarily 1.
Yeah.
It's still an X, so it's still not a like term with the 2. So you still can't combine the X with the 2, plus 2.
That'd be a negative 1 for next.
No, you're doing 11 minus the things that are in the parentheses.
Yeah.
So you want to distribute that negative through the parentheses. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So basically, once you remove the parentheses, it's going to be 11 minus X minus 2. Because you're distributing the negative. So you can think of it as having an invisible 1 in front of those parentheses also. Like there's a 1 right here, and you're multiplying negative 1 times that and negative 1 times that. Negative 33 over 20. I think it's a little bit off. I think the negative 33 part is right, but I don't think the 20 part is right. I think. I'll double check. Yeah, you want to get the negative x over to the other side. So then that ends up being, so you add, basically you add 1x to both sides. What number are we on? 47.
It would be 22x, we should add 1x to both sides, not subtract it. So it's negative x, so to get to the move x, you need to add x to both sides.
So it's just constant.
Yeah, so that's right. But right here, we said minus x, we should say plus x. It's to get, because the x is subtracting, so the opposite of that would be adding. So x equals 11? Not quite. Okay, I'm wrong. Wait, this is right. You're reducing by 11. And then is it negative thing? Negative. No, negative. So, yeah, that's good. Right up the equation. So area was just linked to its width. And it already completed this part. Okay, so that's what it's. That's what we're at. And you're gonna want to do work. I mean, some forms there's not really any work to show, it's just like adding two numbers, you know, but I mean. We should try to show where there's. What's the opposite of multiplying? All of this is like 200.
What'd you get for 23?
23. What did you get for 23? So you have to square that thing. Yeah. So what's your
LCD then.
36 and 3.
So, well, 36, well, 3 goes into 36. So 36 is your LCD. 36 is your LCD then.
Oh,
So then just what do you have to multiply with 3 to get 36? Mm-hmm.
one point two.
121. Yeah, I hear you on that.
Is this right?
Well, that could work, but it's not the least.
I was thinking this one.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
but then I thought, okay. Why can't you find 5 to it?
Well, because the 3 is here, so we're multiplying times 15. So 3 goes into 15 5 times.
Yep, so you did the same thing. You multiplied them. I mean, you divided them all by 3.
Let me see here.
What's number? Chapter 7.
Yeah, so I've multiplied everything by 15.
Right.
And 5 goes into 15 3 times. So 3 times 1, give me the 3x.
Okay, so you're dividing by what's on the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to divide by what's on the bottom to reduce them.
Yeah.
Okay.
was saying is, so this, on this problem, the edge is a fraction, is part of a fraction. So when the statement is true, are we going to divide the 8x by 2? and
Yeah.
Make that a single?
Which one? So you got to figure out how many cookies, how many brownies. You have a total of 250 items. So if you say that, you know, X represents number of cookies, then you could say that 250 minus X represents the number of brownies. Did she guess at that?
Now use that.
Use dots? I don't really know what that means. So yeah, so I would say, you know, X represents number of cookies, and then 250 minus X represents number of brownies. And then after that, you just set up an equation with all of your dollar amounts. It's not right. That's not right though.
It's not though?
Mm-mm.
Then that's fine.
Yeah, well, the point is to set up an equation. So then you need to multiply this times the price of the cookies and multiply this times the price of the brownies to equal the total amount of money you have to pay. Mhm. Mhm, right. Mhm.
250,
So just put this in front of those parentheses, just put 0.75 in front of the parentheses. Mhm. There's nothing to solve, but you need to put that. Mhm. Mhm, right. Mhm. So then you have to distribute. Well, you just have to maybe multiply it. Like long multiplication. Well, just line it, you don't have to write it like that, just line it out. Don't worry about the decimal point. Yeah. I mean, I know it kind of sucks, but yeah. You can do it. Difference in subtracting. Mhm. Yeah, and for this, like, I would probably just go ahead and write it as like regular finance. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. This one's means.
No, this one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So what do you want to say?
I'm just gonna look at the check.
Okay.
So you have to multiply this guy by 8.
Okay, well, I think so.
That's closer.
Okay, so does it matter which side we work hard on? So like if I don't do like, because I went with them, because they would give me the book today.
So, like this is, even the problem is that. There's no negative there. Okay. So there you go. And this cord is up there.
So that, yeah. Mhm. And what you should have said was subtract this from that, yeah, okay. And then, from here, you can just, so, like a kind of a, like a shortcut to do this would be, I would say, well, we know the negatives can cancel out for one thing, right? And then you can just times this by 4 to make the 1, just times both sides by 4. Okay. That'd probably be faster, fastest way to.
Was that? No, it's just changing it forward.
I think that's right.
Okay, down here.
I can't remember if it was negative, but that's the right number.
Okay.
So here, am I gonna do?
Is that the-
That's right. And then just subtract it from that. Yeah, that's it.
Is speaking for me, be a fraction?
No, because they're not gonna sell half of a cookie, so no.
So, would you say, like the way I've done this, and then this is, it has to be in money form, right?
So I would say, okay, so like, let's say, you know, X equals the number of cookies. And so there's a total of 250 things, then 250 minus X will equal the number of brownies.
It's gonna be like one.
So because there's 250 minus X equals the number of brownies.
Okay, but, so what am I doing with it?
So then, so don't think, well, okay, so you can do that, so you'll, if this is the number of brownies, you need to multiply that by 75 cents. Up to that is you multiply by 75 cents.
This is not for me.
And then you have to add the amount from the cookies as well. Okay, so, and make sure you put your decimal point there. And add your amount. You can add your amount on the cookies over here. Cookies, 50 cents, so 50 cents for X. Not plus X. Oh, just point.
Well, but we won't have it on the test one.
I like, but I won't have any adjustments.
Yeah.
Sure, yes.
What are these brackets mean?
This bracket here. Yes, they're open from until 4 on Friday, and then they're also open Sunday night from like 4 to 9.
So this is like what we all did in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so like, yeah.
So I would want here.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Because you have to divide first before you add.
Oh. Somebody, 2 by 2?
Yeah. Y'all are free to go. Y'all are. Thank you.
Sunday, yeah, though they're closed on Saturday, but they're open Friday, I think it's like 9 to 4, and then Sunday is in the evening from like 4 to 9. All right, so test Monday. You gotta be here in the flesh to take the test. Mhm. Yeah, you should be able to do it now.